This is the Nitecore EDC29, and I'm going to tell you all about it right now. Upon unboxing, you'll find the quick start guide, a paracord lanyard, a C-type charging cable, the manual, and of course the light itself. The EDC29 is made of stainless steel coated in titanium. It's IP54 water resistant and has an impact rating of 1 meter and weighs just over 150 grams or just over 5.5 ounces, and is powered by a built-in 2500 milliamp lithium ion battery and features an OLED display and 2 tactical tail switches. I'll leave the tech specs from the manual on the screen now just in case I leave out any details, so pause the video here to see those details. During my runtime test, I ran the EDC29 in the 1200 lumen high mode. The light slowly ramped down over the course of 1 hour and 47 minutes before stepping down to a lower lumen output that I deemed unusable. It then stayed in that mode for over an hour, which was only being maintained by the high efficiency circuit. So the total runtime for the usable light at 1200 lumens was 1 hour and 47 minutes, and during that time it reached a max thermal output of 110 degrees Fahrenheit or 43 degrees Celsius after about 4 minutes of use. Moving along to my recharge time test, the EDC29 took just 1 hour and 20 minutes to fully recharge from completely depleted. Now let's take a brief tour of the modes and general operation for the Nitecore EDC29.
This is the EDC29, guys, from Nitecore, and this is what it looks like. This is the body of the light. It's made from stainless steel and it's coated with titanium. Over here in the back, you have a power button up top and a customizable button here at the bottom. And in the front, where the LEDs are, you have a sensor, so that way you don't burn your pocket. And also over here, you have the OLED display at the top. When you press the button briefly, it's going to tell you what the available power is, and you're going to be able to flip through all the settings that you have as well. And you can tell when you put it in lockout mode. On the side here, we do have the manual lockout, so all you have to do is throw that into lockout, and you'll be in that lockout mode. That's full lockout. And then on the opposite side here, we have the C-type charging port with the rubber / plasticky cover, which is sealing it very nicely for that IP54 rating. And in the front here, of course, you have your LEDs, which are 2 UHI-20 Max LEDs, and this is what they look like. They're nice and bright. Of course, you have really, really bright flashlight here. And of course, that has the orange peel reflectors in there. So now let's just jump right into some of the operation here. You have a full lockout, which is this switch right here. So you can press that switch and it's going to lock out the entire light. And then you have a half lockout, which is when you turn the light on itself and then you flick it into the lockout at the same time. It turns off the power button here. You're gonna see it's a half lockout. It'll actually tell you, but you'll still be able to go into the search mode and the lumen shield mode, which is pretty good. That's how that works for the half lockout. Once you turn the lock off, it's going to do what it normally does, and you're going to be able to access all your modes as usual. Now there is a direct momentary on for the search and for the lumen shield, and how that works is you just go ahead and half press for that search mode and then full press for the lumen shield. And that's basically all they give you with that. This is technically a 1200 lumen flashlight capable of 3000 lumens or 6500 lumens, just basically only temporary, not full on. So if you push this button here, you're not going to be able to keep it on. It's just a temporary mode, which it does get extremely hot, extremely fast. So you don't want to use those modes too much, but it does give you another option here, and that's the power cycling right here. You're going to be able to go through here and pre-select one of your outputs before you turn the light on. And then of course you're going to be able to cycle through as well. And it tells you right on the side exactly how many lumens are coming out every time you press it. So that's something I really like about this light. And also another thing I wanted to point out is it says 15 lumens, you get 61 hours. Then of course you have 100 lumens, that's 13 hours. And then of course 400 lumens, 3 hours. And again, 1200 lumens, you get 1 hour and 58 minutes left of use. It calculates exactly how much time you have left on that particular mode, which is something that I've never actually seen on a flashlight before on this channel. And I think that's a pretty awesome feature if you ask me. Another thing I do want to mention is that when you are using the lumen shield or the search mode for the either 3000 lumen mode or the 6500 lumen mode, what's going to happen is when you turn the light on to that mode, you're going to see that there's a power meter there and it's telling you how much power is remaining. But that's not just the power, it's also monitoring how fast the light is heating up. And you see that shifted down because what's happening there is the light gets hot and then it starts to cool down. And then once it cools down again, the meter goes back up and you'll be able to use that output again. But what's going to happen is that each time you use it like that and it goes up and down, the longer it's going to take to recuperate. So you're going to see we go like that, and then you're going to see it's moving slower than it did last time. Especially, say we kick this into the 6500 lumen mode, it's going to go down real quick because it's heating up really fast, and it's going to take a longer time now than it did last time to recuperate. So that's something I just wanted to point out about the ATR system. It is a good system because it does tell you how much power you have remaining for that specific output. That way you don't overheat the light, and that's something you don't want to do with this because this light can get hot and you can burn yourself if you use it too much. So if you're spamming the turbo, that's something you just don't want to do. So instead of spamming the turbo, just do a quick spot when you need to use it and then go ahead and turn it right off, because then that way you can recuperate faster and you'll have more time for more spots in different locations. Now, of course, it does have a sensor if you leave this in a backpack and it's up against something and you turn it on in the backpack accidentally. Now this is in the 1200 lumen mode. You're going to see on the display, it went from 1200 lumens and dropped down to the 400 lumens. Now, as soon as I pull this away from my hand, you're going to see it go back up into that 1200 lumen mode. And when I bring it back, it's going to stay in that 1200 lumen mode. So it only works one time, and that's just a safety feature just in case you forget to put it in lockout mode in your backpack. But I would suggest, guys, putting this in lockout mode, because if you accidentally hit the ultra bright turbo settings, this is definitely going to cause a fire. So you don't want to accidentally leave it out of lockout mode. You want to keep it in lockout mode if you're not using it. So you do have a customizable button back here. That means that you can switch this out. So say you wanted to put this in the search mode and in the strobe mode. And so how that would work is right now it's in the search mode and the lumen shield mode. All you have to do to change that is you're going to hold down the customizable button, and then you're going to press the power button, and you're going to see it's going to strobe. And once it does that, now you have the option to go into the search mode and then directly into strobe. And that's only a momentary on thing, so it won't stay on strobe. If you fully depress it, it doesn't stay there. But if you want to switch it back, same process, same process, fully depress the customizable button and then hit your power button there, and now we're right back into the alternative settings. Now, another thing I wanted to point out is it does have a direct to low, which is nice. So all you have to do is hold down the power button a little bit. You don't full press it, because if you do full press it, it's going to bring you into whatever the last mode you had it in. So say you turn it off, you have it in the 400 lumen mode, you press it down again, it's back in the 400 lumen mode. If you wanted to turn it off and then cycle to whatever mode you wanted to put it in, say 100 lumens, we got the 100 lumen mode right there. Boom, you're in the 100 lumen mode. Cycle up again. This is the 1200 lumen. Boom, you're in the 1200 lumen. Very simple, very easy to use. That's basically all you need to know for the function as far as I'm aware of this light. So let's take it outside and see what it looks like in the dark.
The Nitecore EDC29 has a max beam distance of 400 meters or 1,310 feet in the 3000 lumen search mode. It also has a max candela of 40,230 CD and utilizes a cool white LED coming in between 6,000K and 6,500K.
All right, guys, I'm outside with the EDC29. I'm going to throw this into the 15 lumen mode. We're 20 feet away from the railing there in front of us. And that's what it looks like. I'm going to jump over to the 100 lumen mode, and this is what the 100 lumens looks like. You can start to see it's kind of getting out to the yard a little bit. I'm going to step it up again. We're going to jump up to the 400 lumen mode. 400 lumens, that's really punching out there a little bit. See, that's what it's going to look like on the porch, nice and bright. Start to see out in that tree line a little bit out there. Let's jump it up to the 1200 lumen mode. And that's what 1200 lumens looks like. I'm going to take a walk over here. And this is what the 1200 lumens looks like. Nice and bright. You can start to see out to the yard there. That tree line is about 100 feet away from where I stand. This bush over here is about 50 feet away. And same with that marker.
And that's what it looks like with the 1200 lumen turbo mode. Now we're going to put this into the 3000 lumen search mode. And this is what 3000 lumen search mode looks like. Nice and bright, punches out there. And of course, like I said, it's not going to last very long. Very short bursts. It's recuperating now. And now we're recuperated finally. We can jump into that 3000 lumen mode again. That's what it looks like. It really punches. That thing is crazy. Now I'm going to throw this in the 6500 lumen shield mode. And that's what that looks like. Nice and bright. It's not going to last very long though, guys. Remember that. And this is the 6500 lumen turbo mode. Lumen shield is what we're working with. And it's going to turn down because it only lasts a few seconds. I'll try this again. Let it recuperate for a second. Then boom. 6500 lumens again. And that's what happens. It keeps going down. Remember, guys, this is made for short bursts. And as you can see right here, it's recuperating, and it's going to take a long time to recuperate too. 6500 lumen. Yeah, you're not going to get much out of that. It's literally short bursts. Now it's not even turning on. Oh, there we go. Oh, no. Yeah, it's being a fickle flashlight, very fickle. Like I said, guys, this is exactly what I'm experiencing, and this is exactly what you're going to experience too. So if you don't want to have to deal with that kind of stuff and you need 6500 lumens, maybe this isn't the flashlight for you, or maybe it is the flashlight for you if you just want to use a 1200 lumen flashlight, and that's what the 1200 lumens looks like once it decides to focus over here. So yeah, that's what 1200 lumens is going to look like for you. 15, 100, 400, 1200. Like I said, it's a 1200 lumen flashlight, and it has the potential of 6500 lumens or 3000 lumens, but you know, that's the best it's going to do. So let's jump over into the 6500 lumen now that we've given it a minute to recuperate, and let's see how long that lasts. Yeah, it didn't last very long, but still, it still works. You can still see out there 100 feet away. So not terrible, not great. We're going to jump this into the 6500 lumen mode again, and that's what it looks like. 100-yard test, and that's what we're getting out of it, and then it dulls down. And that's still recuperating. This is going to take a few minutes, but I could still use it again, but for a very short burst. Ready? That's what it's going to look like. Yep, see? Told you. We recuperated one more time. Here's another 6500 lumen burst. That's what it looks like. 100-yard test. Dulls back down. I think that Nitecore made a pretty good hand warmer because this thing is very hot right now, and a flashlight. So it doubles. So in the wintertime, you're going to have a hand warmer and a flashlight. Not too bad. That's what I call innovation. And jump into that 6500 lumens. And then back down. Not bad.
Now for my pros and cons. First, the pros. The OLED display was very informative as to which mode you're in and how much power you have left to use. And both of the tail switches felt good, and the user interface was well thought out and intuitive. And the run times for the lower lumen outputs were reasonable. Now for my cons. Both the search and lumen shield mode left a lot to be desired when it came to run times. Although both of those modes are meant to be used for short bursts, I couldn't really imagine the limited run times being usable in any realistic scenario. So those high-powered outputs were nothing more than novelty in my humble opinion. Also, the light got way too hot in the process. So to me, this was nothing more than a 1200 lumen flashlight that just happens to be able to reach a 6500 lumen output. So keep that in mind if you do decide to purchase this flashlight. I'm not saying that it's a bad light. In fact, it's quite the contrary. It's a very good quality light. I just don't want you guys having higher than realistic expectations for the turbo modes. With that being said, if you're looking for a tactical style 1200 lumen flashlight that's realistic
reliable and capable of delivering 6500 lumens if needed, then the Nitecore EDC29 is a great option. The EDC29 retails for $109.95 on the Nitecore website, and it comes with a 2-year free from defects warranty. I'll leave a link down in the description. I hope this video has been helpful. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and give this video a thumbs up if you found it useful. Thank you guys for watching. This has been Prepared Guy, and until next time, guys, stay prepared.
Hey there, thank you for watching. You can pat this cat.